Hey everybody, welcome back to art. For today's art lesson, you are going to need the color wheel that we started last week and some coloring supplies. I'm going to be using colored pencils today, and I would recommend colored pencils. I think they're the easiest thing to use for this assignment, but you could also use crayons. The one thing that I would not use is markers. If markers are the only thing that you have, then that's okay, but please try to use colored pencils or crayons first. So last week we drew the color wheel, and we have this circle that has 12 different sections on it. Now today we're going to work on filling some of these sections in with some colors. A really important thing to note about the color wheel is that it does not change. The order of the colors in the color wheel is permanent, and it always will be that way. The colors in the color wheel are organized by a very specific relationship about color mixing. That means every color has a specific spot based on how you mix it together with colors to get other colors. So I know that's probably a little bit confusing since we don't have any colors on here and you can't see what I'm talking about. But once we get some colors on here, I think it will make a little bit more sense. So we are going to start with something called the primary colors. There are 3 primary colors, and they are red, yellow, and blue. Now these are called primary colors because of the way that they just exist. I cannot use 2 different colors and mix them together to get blue. Blue just exists on its own like it is. The same thing goes for red and yellow. There's no 2 colors that I could mix together to get the color red. It just exists this way. I want you to start with your yellow coloring supply and choose one of the sections towards the top. It doesn't matter, we could start with this one. You are going to color this section in yellow. Now if you're using a colored pencil, please make sure that you're coloring it in nicely. I'm just going fast for the sake of the video so that you don't have to sit here and watch me color forever. But please take your time to color the section in completely. Now that we've colored in our yellow section, we have got to do some counting. So I want you to count. If you put your finger on the yellow one, we are going to count 4 over. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th one over is where we are going to put our next color. You should have 3 blank spaces in between yellow and the section that you have your finger on. The next color that we're going to put in this section is blue. Once again, please make sure that you've got 3 empty spots between the yellow and the blue. It is important that you went the same way. So instead of going back this way for your blue, you should be going clockwise or to the right of your yellow to get the blue. All right. You're probably laughing at my Swiss cheese coloring, but I'll fix it, I promise. The last of our primary colors is red. I want you to put your finger on the blue one, and we are going to count over 4 sections from blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this section right here is going to be red, our last primary color. Please make sure that you've got 3 empty spaces between red and blue, and 3 empty spaces between red and yellow. Feel free to pause the video so that you can color in your sections. I'm going to be looking that your coloring is way nicer than mine. All right, we've got our 3 primary colors down. Now it's so important, I know I've said it a lot, but please make sure that you've got 3 empty spaces in between all of your colors. If you don't, you need to adjust your primary colors so that you've got 3 spaces in between each of them. Now that we've got our primary colors down, we're going to move on to the next section of colors called secondary colors. The secondary colors are the colors that we get when we mix together 2 primaries. our secondary colors fall directly in the middle of our primary colors. The secondary colors are purple, green, and orange. Now let's take a look at our color wheel. We know where these colors, these secondary colors, can go based on how our primary colors mix together. So when I mix together red and yellow, do you know what color I get? You're right, it's orange. Since red and yellow make orange, I'm going to put orange in the middle of my red and my yellow sections. There should be one empty space in between orange and red, and one empty space between orange and yellow. I'm putting orange here because it's in the middle of red and yellow, and when I mix together red and yellow, I get orange. Oh my goodness, this coloring. Awesome. Do you know what I get when I mix yellow and blue? Yep, I get green. Since I get green, when I mix together the colors yellow and blue, green is going to fall right in the middle of yellow and blue. Last but not least, I've got red and blue. Do you know what color I get when I mix together red and blue? You've got it, it's purple. Since I get purple when I mix together red and blue, I'm going to put purple in the middle of red and blue. Make sure that you've got one empty space in between purple and red, and one empty space between purple and blue. All right, we have our basic color wheel complete. Now, just a reminder, the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, and the secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. Now, take a look at this. It's kind of tricky because they're all in a circle to remember this, but red, yellow, and blue are the primaries because we can't get those colors by mixing two other colors. The secondary colors are called secondary because we have to mix two colors together to get them. For example, to get orange, we have to mix red and yellow. But if I wanted to make red, I could not mix together purple and orange. That would not make red. It would just kind of make a brown color. Because red's a primary color, we cannot mix it. All right, my friends, after you've colored in your color wheel nicely with no Swiss cheese, you can take a picture of this and upload it to Schoology so that I can see your awesome color wheels. Hang on to this because there is something that we will fill in to our blank spaces next week together. I will see you then.